Voice Today is about awareness, prevention, and healing, and they all are so closely integrated. But healing, more so than really someone at first glance would realize, is such a huge part of prevention. Because if we can help survivors to break their silence, to get their voice, then they themselves are going to be advocates and going to help in the awareness movement. They're also going to become more vigilant and educated on how they can protect the next generation of children. And let's face it, if you have been through the trauma of child sexual abuse, you know personally and you know intimately what it does to a life. You know the brutality of the crime, and you know how society responds and reacts to it right now. Unfortunately, our society, and perhaps inadvertently, but the message that survivors get is that our society does not want to talk about it, does not want to talk about the aftermath of the trauma. They really want you to go behind closed doors for an hour a week in a counseling session and be able to receive your healing there. Voice Today takes a different approach. Voice Today wants to say that we have to bring healing into community, and we have to bring healing around the world. And we have to create safe places for survivors to be able to tell their stories, to break their silence, and to come into a place of healing. For some, it happens overnight. For some, it happens in 2 months, 6 months. For some, it is a lifetime journey. And we need to teach our society how to be compassionate and how to truly have the understanding of the issue, to be able to nurture that survivor back to a place of healing and wholeness, and a place that they can experience life with peace and joy. So Voice Today is about promoting, presenting, facilitating all the programs and the resources that a survivor would need to heal. We have a vision of creating a healing center, which would be a clearinghouse, and which would be an area that we could help to facilitate healing programs all over the world. So what we are facilitating right now and what we have available at voicetoday.org, we have books, not only our own stories, but stories of other survivors. You'll find my book, From Sorrows to Sapphires. I'm extremely open and honest about the little girl and why she kept the secret for 14 years. The threat of the death of her mother from her stepfather, the perpetrator, was overwhelming and overbearing. The level of physical abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, I'm very open and honest in the path that the little girl traveled throughout a lifetime, a childhood of abuse. But I'm also very open and honest about my self-destructive behaviors and what I did to try to survive, what I did to mask the pain, what I did in addiction of drugs and alcohol, what I did to manipulate. And really, you find in my story that you come alongside me in my journey to healing, which I'm still on. I'm still on that journey. But I have learned how to love myself. And I think the sexual abuse makes you hate yourself. And I have learned that every day I wake up and I make a commitment. Today, I am going to do what is healthy and wholesome. I'm going to have good boundaries. I'm going to surround myself with healthy people, and I'm going to make healthy decisions for my life. And those are the kind of messages that our healing programs promote and present. We also have our executive director, Tom Scales' book, Terrible Things Happened to Me. It is a short book, but it is an extremely powerful, powerful book of his story of 8 different male perpetrators, and he was held down and raped by a woman before he was 13 years old. So for those men, we really want to help men to be able to break their silence and come into a place of healing, because really men, with their strength and their power, can lead this movement to help protect children. And Tom is just a wonderful advocate and has received many accolades in the work of child sexual abuse. Voice Today feels very strongly that we need support groups on every single corner. We need available opportunities for survivors to come in on a very consistent basis and find camaraderie, find encouragement, and find accountability, frankly. So this is our healing program, Pathway to Healing, and it is a wonderful piece to jumpstart a support group. It's a wonderful piece to be able to use as a supplement while you're having some professional help, professional counseling. And it is a piece that you can go through independently, but we really encourage healing in community and healing in group. Because the abuse happened in isolation, it is extremely difficult to heal in isolation. In addition to support groups, we have a facilitator guide if you're interested in starting a support group. We have retreats. We have what we call the Voice of Peace retreat. We are 4 years into those retreats. They're extremely powerful, very intimate setting. Those retreats we hope we will this year be expanding into couples retreats and also retreats for men. We have programs that we facilitate continually. We have a whole list of workshops in addition to our workshop From Hurt to Hope, which helps to be able to process pain. Our workshops are designed to help survivors to learn how to break their silence, to learn to look at the self-destructive patterns in their life. Our workshops revolve around such issues as time to heal, shame, forgiveness, boundaries, different struggles that a survivor deals with. But we have a whole menu of workshops that can be found at voicetoday.org. In addition to these programs, what we really want to do is provide resources on our website, resources to help with self-care, resources to help with triggering, resources to help be able to plug you into a program in your area. Really resources not only for the survivor, but there is a ripple effect. Whether our society chooses to believe it or not, child sexual abuse bleeds into other areas of our society. We can look at some of the social ills that we face. We can look at depression. We can look at the divorce rate. We can look at cutting. We can look at addiction. Child sexual abuse, though not responsible for every social ill, is certainly a major cause that is not being addressed properly. So in addition to affecting the survivor, it also affects the other relationships in their life. So we have on our website, When a Man You Love Was Abused, which really helps for the spouse, the mother, the sister of a survivor of a male to be able to help promote and help them with healing. We desperately need more resources for spouses. We need more resources for mothers for support. And Voice Today is working very hard to be able to present those types of resources. So healing really is bringing the issue full circle. Healing really is about helping that survivor walk into a place where they can get their voice and they can learn how to love themselves and they can learn how to end the self-destruction and the self-divisiveness and the problems that really keep them in that cycle, keep them in that vicious cycle, because they deserve healing and they deserve to understand what that healing looks like. So we're just trying to promote healing in community and present all the resources that a survivor would need to heal.